Mark, thank you for joining us today.
I'm excited about this, Mars.
How are you?
I'm very, very good today.
That's good.
14 coffees in, I'm ready to go.
How's your day started? Tell me about it.
Today's been a really good start for the day. We go for a walk most mornings, my wife and I, with the dogs. Had a coffee. We go to the local cafe, little hole in the wall in Cheltenham, and we enjoy coffee there and a bit of banter with the owners there. And then this morning I was able to do a bit of charity work. So we helped set up a lunch for people in need. So we spent about an hour or so just setting up tables and tablecloths and getting everything set up. So when the clients arrive mid-morning, they've got everything ready to go. So that's all before 7:30.
So you've had a day already.
Definitely.
Love that. So this year was your 21st year with Ray White Cranbourne. But I want to go back and I want you to take us on a journey in regards to your introduction into real estate, how that came about and what that looked like. So tell me more about that.
It's a long time ago now. It's a distant memory, but a very, very fun one as well. So I left school and I had an idea I wanted to become an accountant. And I now joke with my family and my parents about how bizarre that concept was and how my lack of attention to detail and being stuck in the one place would never have worked for me. So I don't know why I thought that, but there was a plan. I did 18 months in a degree and decided it wasn't for me. And my parents had done a bit of real estate, buying and selling, and I'd sort of seen that, and I sort of wandered into that space, and then started looking for a job. So I was very, very lucky. I spent 6 months looking for a job. Everyone I went to said I was 19 years old. Everyone said, when you've got some experience, come back and see us. But no one wanted to give me the experience. So it was very, very frustrating. I was too young to be able to do full-time real estate, but it was an interesting space. Luckily, I found a job and I was a cadet at Ray White in Frankston. Interesting story also. The person I beat for the job, it came down to two of us. The person I beat is Campbell Noonan, who's now a very, very good friend of mine. We became friends from that. We both competed for that. He got a job at Somerville, next suburb over. I was at Frankston. And he reminds me every time I see him the fact that I beat him for the job at Frankston, but he beat me for the first Ray White Cadet of the Year award. He won and I didn't.
Oh, wow.
So he reminds me all the time, but he had a win, yes.
I love that.
So it was very good. So started there, Ray White Frankston. It's the best grading I could ever have had. So my job as a cadet was I got to do everything and anything. I joke about it, the fact that I did weekend reception. I was in charge of the advertising. I was in charge of assisting agents with letterbox drops. I washed the boss's car every Friday afternoon. You name it, I did it from the ground up. And so I'm very happy to say, very proud to say that anything I ask anyone to do in our business these days, I may not know how to do it today, but I know I've started at the very, very bottom and I know every part of the business. And it gave me a great understanding of all aspects of the business. As a business owner later on, is the best thing I could have done.
Yeah.
So.
And after Ray White Frankston?
I spent four years there. I then spent a couple of years at Rich Dallas in the CBD doing industrial sales and leasing, which gave me a business aspect. I got to deal with some large organisations, a lot of business people. It was a very professional environment I got to deal with. And that was very, very different from the emotional aspect of residential sales and leasing. So it was a really good other side. But I missed the emotion of real estate. I missed the emotion of mums and dads buying their first property or selling their first property or leasing, and that emotion that goes into every single transaction we do. Yeah. Working with Rich Ellis, as good as it was a business transaction based on numbers.
Yeah. So
it was very clinical, and the process took a long, long time. So I did it for a couple of years, and then I was lucky enough to get an opportunity to go to New Zealand. A gentleman called Nicholas Lynch recruited me across to New Zealand, and it was the best thing I've ever done. I spent 4 years there working for a gentleman called Martin Cooper, who's to this day is one of my greatest mentors. He runs I think 23 Harcourts offices and is number one franchisor for the Harcourts Group. I still speak to him regularly. There's things that we do in our business today that I learned from him 20 plus years ago. Yeah. And he's an outstanding person, and an amazing business person. So he's been a great part of my life and also a very big influence in our business as well over the years. So I spent 4 years there, predominantly working with around auctions and training salespeople and working on their auction campaigns. And then we decided to come back to Australia, my wife and I, Caroline, and start a family. And I was very, very fortunate that I was introduced by another mentor of mine, Ross Hunter, to a breakfast with Brian White.
Wow.
So Brian took the time when he was in New Zealand to spend an hour with me at breakfast. I told him I was coming back to Melbourne and I was looking for an opportunity, and I was very, very fortunate. He made an opportunity for me.
Wow.
And I got to start my journey at Ray White Corporate Victoria. I spent 4 years there. And that was my first true introduction to the White family. And they've been an amazing influence personally, without a doubt, from Brian to Dan to Sam to Ben, but also through our business, obviously, with everything we do today through the Ray White network and the Ray White branding has been as a result of them.
Yeah. Tell me about what you did at the corporate. What did that role look like for you?
So that was a little bit of recruitment, bringing on new officers, a bit of training with existing salespeople, and also liaising with our business owners about what more we could do to assist them run their business. And I've spoken to Brian about this often, about it should almost be compulsory. I know it's not possible, but it should almost be compulsory that every business owner of Ray White has to spend some time at corporate to understand other businesses. So the beauty I had was I got paid by the White family to learn about the businesses in their network, the best of and some of the worst of, and spend some time with the principals and find out what they were doing. So I had a little booklet that I used to take to work each day, and I wrote in the front of the book all the things that I saw businesses doing that I wanted to make sure I did in my business or our business later on.
Yeah.
I had the ambition that I was going to do corporate for a while and then start our own business. And at the back of the book, I wrote all the things that I would promise myself I would never do in business because of what I saw in businesses that weren't successful. Unfortunately, the back of the book was 10 pages, the front of the book was 1 page. Because and the lesson I learned from that was the fact that people who do things well make it look effortless, and they just do things over and over again, and they don't highlight anything, but it all just runs smoothly. Whereas the businesses that don't work continually do the things that fail. They don't identify those things, they don't change those things. But the things are really, really easy to see why it's not successful.
Can you tell me something from the front of the book that you still hold true to today?
Probably one of the best things was how you enter the office physically and mentally.
Yeah.
So I went to a lot of offices where I, as a corporate member, I came in the front door, but the principal of the office had a car park at the back and came in the back door, and therefore never saw the front of the office and what the public see as they're walking into their business. Mm. It's a really small thing, I know, but I always identify that what's the public seeing each day they walk in, okay? What's the first impression they have of our business, okay? And if I've got cobwebs in the window or a dirty mat or a shabby looking reception, that's what the first image they have of our business.
Yeah.
And most principals didn't know that because they weren't ever coming in the front door.
They never saw it.
They never saw the first person at the front reception desk who greeted the public. So they never knew that person well enough. They never knew how it looked. So it was about the physical aspect of that, but also about the mental aspect of how I entered the office. Mm. And I had a great learning from our team, probably 7 or 8 years into our business. And I had a practice of coming in, walking around the office every day, saying hello to everyone, having a conversation, and making sure people I knew I was there, I was in a good mood, and we're there to do good business. And I had a period where I didn't notice at the time, but I was obviously off. And for about a month, apparently, I came to the office for that month and went straight to my office and started my meetings and started having my day without going around the office and introducing myself and saying hello to everyone. And there was a team meeting had, from what I understand, and a person was nominated, and that person had to come and tell me and ask me the question, what was wrong? And I never forget it. I remember it vividly. He stepped in the office and goes, Mark, we're concerned, we want to know what's the matter, what's wrong? I said, nothing. What do you mean? He goes, well, you aren't talking to us, you aren't greeting us, you aren't having it that upbeat mood when you come to the office every morning and talk to us.
Wow.
And I hadn't realised it.
Yeah.
It was one of the best things I ever learned. So I'm very, very mindful these days of making sure I talk to everyone if I can. I'm probably annoying. I know I step into the office and it might be some days it's mid morning because I've had outside appointments and I'll interrupt people. I'll mess up their workflow. I cause a distraction, but I still think it's a vital part of our business that we connect with every single person every single day.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So 4 years with corporate. Tell me at what point you thought you might like to look at the idea of opening your own franchise.
I had a false start. I had two false starts. Michael Teague and myself opened up the Ray White Mornington office. Mm-hmm. We were still at corporate, and we had the idea that we could work at corporate and run a business remotely that was about an hour away from where the corporate office was, probably about 45 minutes away from where we both worked. And we both had the same skill set, and that was not to work in the business and work from a distance, which didn't work at all. Yeah. So Michael Teague's a very good friend of mine. We joke about it these days, but that was a business, and we learned a lot from that. And so that was a massive failure from our point of view. It didn't work, and we all the mistakes we made were very, very obvious when we look back. I had another opportunity. I tried to buy an office off a different brand and then rebrand it Ray White. And at last minute, that was knocked in the head by the franchisor of the other group. So I was committed to that and excited by that. And then about a week before it was ready to settle, all the rules changed and it didn't go ahead.
Yeah.
So it's funny, both failures gave me some good lessons, and there's no doubt today that some of the things we do in our business is it based upon those mistakes I made previously. So you've got to fail before you can succeed. I agree.
So then comes Ray White Cranbourne. Tell me about that.
Well, there's another interesting story. So Ray White Cranbourne had two previous owners in the 3 years previous to us buying it.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So it was a marketplace. I knew Cranbourne for the fact that you drove past it on the way to Phillip Island. I knew we had an office at Ray White in Cranbourne, and beyond that, I didn't know much about it. And we joke about it that Kate Rushton was the salesperson in the office when we first started it or bought it, and she jokes the fact that the only reason we kept hers because she knew where the streets were and we didn't know where they were. So she could drive us around and say, well, that street's got this and that street's got this and that's where this is. But that wasn't the case, of course. But yeah, we had no knowledge of Cranbourne as such. So it was Christy Bilson, now Bartlett, and myself. We bought it 21 years ago now. And neither of us knew the area. She came from Noel Park, was a very successful salesperson. I'd come from corporate. We'd met through the Ray White network and doing some work together and some training together. And we both thought, so young, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, we can make this a success. The fact that other people have failed, we can make it. We can turn that around. And obviously it's worked out okay for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you tell me about a defining moment that changed the direction of the business?
We had a defining moment on day one. So we bought a business. I had a couple of failures before that. I'd learned some things, and we got to spend the week before settlement. We got to spend some time in the business, getting a feel for what was going on and who was who, and some information from the previous owner. He was passing on to us with a bit of an induction about how the office worked and how the area worked. And we realised in that week that the property manager, the only property manager of the business, looking after about 60 properties, was stealing money. So on day one, about 9:10, we got into the office, our first day of business, and we sacked her. And not the greatest start to a business. So I do remember going home that night. I was now the department head of rentals because Chris was looking after the sales side, and I was department head with 63 properties and no idea about rentals. I remember going home to my wife and saying, what did we do and why did we do this, and we're bound to fail again. But the learning from that was, it gave me a new appreciation about the rental side of the business. I know most principals in those days, especially not so much these days, but in those days, it was all about the sales, and every principal I knew was pretty much a successful salesperson who made the transition into being the business owner, but still remained a salesperson. So they were predominantly about sales. All the focus, all the awards were about sales. So by me getting involved in the rental side, it definitely opened my eyes about how important that was, how important the relationships were, how important that income as a regular income in a new business especially, how important that was going to be. So that gave us a different approach.
Yeah.
So we then put on an even keel the rental side and the sales side, as opposed to in the old days, or in those days, most businesses were 90% about sales, 10% about rentals. That was the people on the back of the office or the other side, or they did that rental stuff, and no one really wanted to know about that. But that became a major part of our business, and to this day is still a major component of our business.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have worked for you for almost 12 years, and the office has consistently been in the top 10 in the Ray White group. Can you tell me at what point in your journey did things start to turn up for the business and you started to see success?
I don't see the business as being successful yet.
Okay.
I think the best of our business is still ahead. So I'm excited about where we are. I'm excited about what we've done. I'm excited about where we've come from. But I think the best opportunity and the best days of this business is still ahead of us. There's no one time that you go, well, we've made it. I've had thousands of sleepless nights, and I still do. There's still things that are thrown at us every single day that take us backwards. There's no easy days. There's never a day when we go, oh, that's now everyone's coming to us. Now all the best people are coming to us. All the best clients are coming to us. All the best properties are coming to us. That's never occurred. Or I don't think it has. Or I've got the feeling it never has. It's not become easier. It's become different. And it's different in different ways. The challenges are in different areas. We now have a team of over 50 people. So in the old days, on day one, it was 3 of us. It was 4 of us until 9:10. Then it was 3 of us, with Christy, Kate, and myself. Now it's over 50 people. And so one of the things that I look at each day is how do we provide what decisions are we making today that impact 50 families directly in every decision we make. So if we have a new initiative, or we have a new plan or a new focus, we do think about those 50 families that we employ and the responsibility we have with them about where this business is going and where it's going to be in the future, and making sure that they're in the right place as well.
Yeah. You mentioned some sleepless nights, but I want you to tell me about some highs and some really proud moments over the last 21 years. Is there a few that you can pick out for me?
It's funny. You and I had a catch up a couple of days ago where you found some old photos.
Yes.
Okay, so my proudest moments are they're about the results that individuals get with our business. No question about that. And obviously we've been very, very lucky over the years of having a numerous awards for individuals as well as for the office. But my proudest moments are watching the people in our business, and you're a classic example. You mentioned over 12 years. Watching their journey and how much they've changed. The amount of children that have been born in the time that people have been in that business. And I go to functions these days, and there's teenagers who have only ever known their parents working for Ray White Cranbourne.
Yeah. And
to watch them and see their journey, and to watch the people and how much they've grown. We often joke about it now, the amount of engagements and weddings and births we've seen in those 21 years.
Yeah.
And that's the best part. And seeing people who've grown personally, they've done degrees, or they've done more training, or they've just matured as a person. That's the greatest or the proudest moment I have, is watching those people. And we've got people who've been in our business for 21 years.
That's incredible.
So to have them for so long, and to be so close to them every day, because we spend so much time at work, so you get to know people pretty well.
Yeah.
And the ups and downs of their lives, as well as the ups and downs of our business as well.
Yeah. Obviously, your people are of utmost importance. Tell me about your support network and the importance of surrounding yourself with good people.
I'm very, very lucky. I've worked for, in my opinion, some of the best people in the business. My first boss was Brent McEwing at Ray White Cranbourne. I think if there's a record for the most amount of people who've worked in an office who have gone on to run their own offices, Brett wins that award hands down. There's the amount of people who've worked for him, learned from him, just grown so much with him, and then have gone out, and he's encouraged it. He's encouraged people to go out and be better version and start their own businesses. It's extraordinary. And a lot of those people have run very, very good businesses, all different brands. So I've been very lucky from him from the very beginning. I mentioned before Martin Cooper, having good business coaches like Ross Hunter, Mark Frater, having great support of other colleagues in the Ray White network who I've grown up with. Damien Moore and Matt Sims as principals of unbelievably successful businesses. We all started the corporate together. Ange McNaughton, through Loan Market and spending time with her. Michael Teague, all these people are. If you surround yourself with people who are better than you, they keep on pushing you and dragging you with them, so you become a better person as well. And I've been very, very lucky with so many successful people to be touched by them and to get ideas from them. And that's obviously from a business point of view. I think also beyond that is having friends outside of the business. So one of the things that's important for me is to be able to get away from business and have a normal life and have good friends who keep me grounded outside of real estate. And I've got some very good mates and very, very long-term mates who pride themselves on grounding me very, very well and keeping me grounded about who I am and who they know I am,
keeping you humble.
And not getting ahead of myself.
Yeah.
So there's so many pillars in my life of different groups from sporting clubs, and childhood friends, from business people, from family friends, all those networks of people, and having so many people around provide so much balance in my life. So it's not just about real estate. It's not just about what's happening in our business every day. That's obviously at different stages that was all consuming, but having people around you that can bring humour and bring the reality of life back to you when you're having a bad day or having a good day, and make sure that you're level. That's really, really important. And I think that's a good life lesson, not just real estate or business, about having lots of people around you that you can gain from and learn from and can keep you humble.
Yeah, definitely. Tell me about some of your daily rituals and habits.
I'm not a 5:30 a.m. club person. I fluctuate. One of my mates calls me Oprah. My weight fluctuates. My moods fluctate at the same level. I'd like to think, as always, I'm on that skinny version of me at the moment. That goes up and down by the day as well. So, but I do believe in exercise. So I do enjoy. I'm a morning person. There's no doubt about that. I do enjoy. These days, it's obviously walking the dogs or going for a walk with my wife in the mornings. A little bit of bike riding when I can. I thoroughly enjoy golf. So it's all outside activities, and having that exercise on a daily basis or on a regular basis, I think is very, really important. It clears the mind as well. And once again, gets me away from real estate. It gives me a chance to think, but also gets me away from real estate to spend time and be with other people. One of the more quirky ones is I'm a planner. I like to plan ahead. I know what's happening. I like to a certain degree control as much as I can. It's always been one of my traits. But I'm always planning the week and day ahead. So I know my diary next week. I always look at my diary the night before, so I know what I'm doing the next day. I know how to plan, to the extent that I will always have my whatever I'm wearing tomorrow is out the night before. So I know what suit I'm wearing. I know what shirt I'm wearing. Everything's already set out the night before I go to bed.
Yeah.
So I know what the day looks like. I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going and what I'm going to wear. So it's a quirky one, but yeah, it's forward planning.
Yeah. Whatever works.
Yeah.
Tell me about the future of Ray White and what the next sort of 5 to 10 years looks like.
As I said before, I think the business has never been in a better place, and we've had a good journey for 21 years. But I think the difference now is the quality of people we've got in our business. It's the breadth of experience we have in our business, and it's the different ideas that are coming through. I know when we first started, it was Chrissy and I, and we had to have all the ideas. Well, obviously, with Kate, there's a lot of ideas from Kate that come through. There's 3 of us on day one who had to have those ideas. Now, with in excess of 50 people, we've got so many different ideas from so many different age groups and different demographics and different backgrounds that we can use for our business to grow and get better. Classic example is technology. I'm the least advanced person in technology, but we've got people in our business that's their forte, and they get to do that every day, and so our business grows because of those people. So our management team has grown dramatically over the last couple of years, and the new ideas coming through from our partners, and Kyle has been a classic example of the energy he brings, and then the management team that he's brought on board, they've all got new ideas and new angles. It means that the business is re-energized. And I spoke to Andrew Freeman at Corporate recently, and he was telling me that the stats tell him that the first 10 years of any Ray White business is generally the biggest growth and the best time of a business. And then beyond that, the principal gets tired, you might get complacent, and things start to plateau, as a general rule. We've been very, very lucky that we've had the right people coming through with the right experiences, and they've just kept on re-energising the business. We've just come off 3 PBs in a row, the best sales months and best rental months that we've done in 21 years.
Incredible.
That's amazing. And that's why I'm so excited for the future, because those people coming through, that new era are just hitting their straps. So that next 5-10 years is about them and about what they bring and how they grow the business and how they grow themselves. That's well and truly outpacing me.
Yeah, the best is yet to come.
Absolutely.
You mentioned technology a moment ago. Tell me how that's changed over the last 21 years and the impact technology's had on your business.
Now, this is a chance to sound really, really odd, but one of my jobs when I was a cadet was I used to have to take the camera with a roll of film in an old roll of camera film down to the Photoshop to get developed. And that's how my wife, Carol, was working in the camera shop. So I was taking lots of photos to go to do lots of trips, individual trips down to the Photoshop to see her. But that was a classic example. We used to take photos of properties in a camera, go to the store, get them developed, hopefully the same day, and come back to them and put them on a piece of paper in the window. That's how we started. Property management in the old days was all pen and paper. It was labour intensive and took a lot of time. Whereas technology these days, everything happens so fast. You don't like that photo, you delete it and take another one. The programs we use, we're moving into AI and excited by what that can bring for the future as well, and how that's going to change our business. It will change it in some ways. It will never change the people aspect, which is one concept we've had in our business for 21 years, and I don't think it's going to change in the future. But the technology about time saving and efficiencies and consistency and those sort of things has been a major part of our business, and it's been exciting. And once again, that's beyond me. That's not my forte. So having younger people coming through our business where that is their skill set is definitely a strength of our business.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to end with some parting words of wisdom from you. To people in the industry, looking to get into the industry, looking to open their own franchise, is there any words of wisdom you can leave us with?
I think I've been very, very lucky in my career I've met some amazing people who've been great mentors, whether they know it every day or whether I lean on them more than they might even know, and whether I have told them enough about how much of an impact they've made in my life is really important. But having lots of people around you, as I said, that's social, that's family, that's business, that's mentors, that's coaches. I've been very, very lucky with the people I've met and what they've able to tell me to do, and then guide me through those ways. So the more people you talk to, I think the saying is that you are the sum of the 5 people that are closest to you, and what they are and what they do and how they perform influence you. So if you spend time with people who are happy with average or aren't motivated or just want to get by, well, you tend to find that's what you become. Whereas if you surround yourself, and it was sometimes by sheer luck, other times you've got to go and find those people, but if you surround yourself by people who are better than you, it'll push you further. So that's one aspect. I think the other aspect of that is try and find people who are smarter than you in the room. And I was told that way you look smarter. That was my version. But by having people in the room who are smarter than you, and then listen to what they say and do what they recommend, everyone wins. So you don't need to be the smartest person in the room or know the most, as long as you've got the right people around you and take the right guidance by them.
That's great advice. Tell me about some of the challenges over the last 21 years.
So some of the biggest challenges, there's no one moment in our business where we go, well, that changes for the better or worse. But there's a number of times that have challenged us. It's been around people. So people who have been part of our business and been a major part of our business who have then left. And we always hope they've gone to bigger and better things. And a lot of people who have left us have done amazing things in other businesses outside. But it's always one of the things that's probably given me the most sleepless nights is when we've built a business and this person's been a major part of our business and then decided to leave. And the first thought is, the whole thing's going to stop. The whole thing's going to fall over. This person was a great person and they were so good at their job that we can't replace them. And this is not a negative about the person who leaves. It's more of a positive about what it can do for the business. And I never forget, in one of those occasions, I remember going to the meeting to tell the team that this person was leaving. And this person was a major part of our business and had been for a number of years. And I remember talking to the company and saying, this is going to provide an opportunity for other people. This is like, the analogy I used was, this is like a very large tree in the Amazon. When it falls over, that canopy is exposed. So all the nutrients out of the soil, all the sunlight that it takes, all the growth that it's had in that time frame, and how good a tree it's been, it's no longer there now. But what that provides is open space for others to take that space and to grow into that space. And I'll never forget that time. And I said those words and I wasn't sure what was going to happen. But every single time when someone who's a major part of our business has left and gone on to bigger and better things, someone else has stepped up. And it's given opportunities for other people in our business. And that's one of the things I think becomes a positive out of a negative is how many people in our business you're a classic case, have tried different roles in our business, have moved into different aspects of our business, have grown and may not have had that opportunity if that person hadn't have left. Kyle Dorman's a classic case. The way he runs our businesses these days and what he brings and the opportunity that when it presented, he grabbed it with both hands and ran with it. And is extraordinary what he does in that business. But if that opportunity hadn't have been there, he may not be doing that job today, and he might have left us and gone and done somewhere else. So sometimes the biggest challenges can be the biggest opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.